Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Guns N' Roses Central. And we've got a bunch of news this week, so let's get started. So Guns N' Roses, as they've done with every leg of their tours, they've been releasing videos for their North America tour from last year. They did one for the Europe tour, and then they did one for their summer tour in North America, including Canada and the US. So this included the show that I went to in Edmonton. It's just a montage trailer. I've linked to it down below for you guys to go check out. I also want to give a shout out to one of my patrons on Patreon, Cody D. He's got a GNR YouTube channel where he posts pretty much full audio of all the concerts that they've been playing on this North America tour. So I put his link to his YouTube channel down below. Go check it out. Go subscribe to his channel. And I want to give a big shout out to Cody for supporting me on Patreon as well. So Guns N' Roses played a concert earlier this week in Hartford, Connecticut. And during the actual concert, they dedicated their cover of Whole Lotta Rosie to George Young, who actually worked with AC/DC. He actually produced the song Whole Lotta Rosie. So Axl said during the show, so this is for Angus Young, and this is dedicated to George Young, who actually produced the song. So if you guys want to see the actual performance, I've linked to it down below. So it looks like Slash's 2018 plans may have been revealed, or at least some of his 2018 plans may have been revealed. So, a lot of people are wondering, is Slash going to go back to Myles Kennedy, make an album, go out on tour? Or is Axl going to go back to AC/DC, yada, yada, yada. So Slash's bassist in his band with Myles Kennedy, Todd Dammit Kearns, actually posted a revealing piece of info on social media. So this is a photo of him with their rhythm guitarist, Frank Sidoris. Now, Frank doesn't record with Slash and Myles Kennedy. He only tours with them. And he said in the description, the time that Frank Sidoris filled in for Team Coco and I was the lead guest, good times, got to shake Jeff Bridges' hand, and I fanboyed over J.J. Abrams. Every time Slash featuring official Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators played Conan, I used the opportunity to get Arrested Development info out of Andy Richter. See you next year, gang. And then a lot of people thought that by him saying see you next year, gang, it could be indicating that Slash is going to be going back to Myles Kennedy next year and maybe making an album as well as going out on tour. Now, earlier in the year, Myles Kennedy was actually on Eddie Trunk's show. This was back during May, and during the interview, he actually was asked by a fan about any new stuff he may be doing with Slash, to which Kennedy responded by saying that Guns N' Roses is huge and going so well that he doesn't know, and then the subject was quickly changed. So, ex-Creed and Alter Bridge guitarist Mark Tremonti discussed scheduling earlier this year and how it affected Myles Kennedy's work with Slash. He said, all of 2017 were dedicated to Alter Bridge, so we're touring all year long. The following year is when we go our separate ways for a little while. I'll do my next Tremonti solo record. I know that Slash's camp has already started recording music, and Myles has to go in and sing on that. We'll constantly keep juggling the 2 or 3 bands. He also said that Alter Bridge's members have to plan out their projects years in advance due to the other projects members are involved in, which includes Kennedy's work with Slash. He said 3 years probably. We have to know how the next few years are laid out so that when we put out a record, we're not just cannibalizing it with another record. So the Guns N' Roses out on tour. They've still managed to check out some other shows as well. So Duff and Slash were actually spotted at the Queens of the Stone Age concert in Boston at Agganis Arena over the weekend. So this is a photo of Slash and Duff in the audience. And it's been no secret that both guys have spoken about their fondness for Queens of the Stone Age. I still have to listen to their new record. I'm a huge fan of Queens of the Stone Age as well. Now, this is a piece of news that sort of flew under the radar. So U2 and Guns N' Roses are vying for 3 honors at the 2017 Billboard Touring Awards. So the veteran rock acts are in the running for the top draw, the top tour, and top box office prizes. So U2 and GNR will compete against Coldplay for the top draw and top tour awards, which honor the best attended and highest grossing tracks respectively. So as for the top box score award, which honors the highest grossing single engagement by an artist, U2 have been nominated for their July 25th and 26th concerts in Paris, France, last summer, and Guns N' Roses are acknowledged for their June 16th through 17th run at London Stadium in London this past summer as well. So the third finalist, Fish, was nominated for their July 21st to August 6th engagement in Madison Square Garden in New York City. Meanwhile, the Foo Fighters are one of 5 finalists for the Concert Marketing and Promotion Award in recognition of their Cal Jam concert and Concrete and Gold tour of North America. So the 2017 Billboard Touring Awards ceremony is part of the 14th annual Billboard Touring Conference, which will be held on November 14th and 15th. Now, if you guys remember, earlier in the year, Guns N' Roses were actually nominated. So earlier this year, Guns N' Roses were nominated for 3 awards. They were nominated for Top Duo and Group, Top Touring Artist, and Top Rock Tour. Now, they lost all of those awards, And probably the most important one was that they actually lost to Coldplay for top touring rock artist, which is really disappointing considering Coldplay can't even hold a candle to Guns N' Roses. And Beyonce beat out Guns N' Roses and Justin Bieber for the top touring artist award. So one of the biggest news that Guns N' Roses made this week with them playing some of these tour dates is that they actually played a new song they hadn't played previously on tour. So Prostitute was played live earlier this week, and it seems like it's become a staple of the set list. So there was actually an article on Metal Sucks, which was basically asking, why are Guns N' Roses playing so much Chinese Democracy material on their reunion tour? And, you know, a lot of people seem to have the same kind of opinion. They have all these great songs from the Use Your Illusion albums. So they have them from the Spaghetti Incident, you know, GNR Lies and Appetite, and they're choosing to play Chinese Democracy songs instead. And I think a large reason for it is because it's Axl's band. I think number two, a lot of that tension that used to exist between the band isn't there anymore. And I think we're only going to see more Chinese Democracy songs added to the set list in the future. I think Street of Dreams is probably going to be brought out at some point in time. Maybe Shackler's Revenge will be played. They've played that live before the reunion, so I think anything's possible. I think that we're more likely to see more Chinese Democracy songs than we are to see them dust off a song like So Fine or Breakdown or Locomotive. That's just my opinion. But if you guys want to read the entire article, I've linked to it down below. And then we've got some GNR mentions in Rolling Stone. So INXS was featured on an article that Rolling Stone posted about 10 things you didn't know about the band. And number 10 was that the band partied with Guns N' Roses and Iggy Pop after a surreal post-kick gig. Now, I had already remembered that Guns N' played the same bill as INXS. If you guys ever watched the Photographic History documentary, there's a scene where there's a photo of Axl, I think it was like at a gig in Texas somewhere, and Slash went on to say it was one of their worst gigs they ever played. He said there was like a confusing lineup on the bill, including Iggy Pop and INXS. Here's what Rolling Stone had to say. So in September 1988, INXS headlined at MTV Sponsors gig during its Calling All Nations tour. That was the epitome of diversity. It featured the Smithereens, Ziggy Marley and Melody Makers, Iggy Pop, and perhaps the most surprisingly, Guns N' Roses, who were the openers. The Gunners were booked for the show months in advance, and by the time it happened, they were getting their own taste of fame. As the date approached, GNR wanted to back out, to no avail. According to Story, Hutchins and Andrew Ferris met Axl Rose and Slash before showtime, and Hutchins offered Rose some tips on handling success. There's always going to be someone greater than you, always, he said. And you know what? So what, man? That doesn't matter. Just do fine work and enjoy yourself. Believe me, that's what it's all about. The Rockers didn't take Hutchins' words entirely to heart as they cut their set short. As Pellegly wrote in their expansive tour diary, Guns N' Roses finished early and sounded terrible, but there was a celebration with most of the acts afterwards, he wrote. Bit of a party backstage, and then some back at the bar at the hotel, and eventually most off to MH's suite for the party till very late, along with Iggy Pop, our LA friends, Duff from Guns N' Roses. So here's the clip from Photographic History of Slash actually talking about the gig.
There's some funny shit in this book that people won't, that buy it obviously won't know exactly the story behind it. And this picture right here of Axe was at Texas Stadium, Cowboy Place, Dallas Stadium, whatever. And it was the very end of our first 2-year tour. It was the last show. And it was the worst show we ever played. And INXS was headlining, and we were playing before them. We were supposed to play for about an hour and a half. And we played for about 45 minutes. The sound was terrible. The crowd, the show itself, the lineup was Iggy Pop, Ziggy Marley, The Replacements, us, and INXS. I mean, it was really screwed up, so the crowd was really confused in general. And we were terrible. And then a few months later, I got a cassette in the mail, Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, broke it in half. And it was some former fan who said after seeing us at Texas Stadium that he would never listen to us again.
We've also got some Matt Sorum news. So it was Scott Weiland's birthday this past week, and Matt Sorum wished him a happy birthday. He said, "We'll miss you on planet Earth." And then Matt Sorum also announced that Kings of Chaos have added another gig. So they were playing in Oklahoma, but it looks like they're also going to be playing a date in Dallas. So December 1st in Dallas, Texas. You guys can go to metrotickets.com if you're interested in getting tickets. So the lineup's going to include the DeLeo brothers, or at least Robert DeLeo and Dean DeLeo, and then you'll get Steve Stevens, Frankie Perez, and Matt Sorum. We've also got some social media posts from Guns N' Roses. They're doing a cancer charity promotion. So if you guys want to go, I think they're their online store. You can purchase the F Cancer shirt. And then we also got a post from Duff McKagan as well as his wife, just wishing Scott Weiland a happy 50th birthday. Plus, they put up a photo of them back in the Velvet Revolver days. Duff also tweeted that he also got to see the Dead Boys this past week as well. If you guys remember, the Dead Boys had their song Ain't It Fun covered by Guns N' Roses, which I also did a True Story episode of last week. So go check that out if you guys haven't already. So Slash, with Halloween coming up, has some Slash-themed Halloween merchandise you guys can go buy from Slash's online store. So go check that out if you guys are doing anything special for Halloween. Now, with the new Jumanji movie coming out and with Welcome to the Jungle being the theme song for the movie, Guns N' Roses posted on Instagram a little snippet of The Rock lip-syncing to Welcome to the Jungle. So apparently the whole cast did a lip-sync that'll air around the world when the film is released. So if you guys want to see a little snippet of The Rock lip-syncing Welcome to the Jungle, I've linked to it down below. Then finally, we have Slash wishing a rest in peace to Fats Domino, who had actually passed away earlier this week. So that does it for this week's Guns N' Roses news. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you love Guns N' Roses and you want to stay up to date on the latest GNR news. Also, head over to my Facebook page. I got a really cool trailer up at the top of my Facebook page. It's like a live trailer you can watch of the band as soon as you go to my Facebook page. It's just kind of cool. The Facebook's allowing you to do this kind of stuff now. And then you guys can also go support me on Patreon and follow me on Twitter. The links to all that good stuff is down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and have yourself a good one.